Marta tiene un marcapasos que le anima el corazón. No tiene que darle cuerda, es automático. Puedes oír sus pataditas, está vivo creo yo. Marta tiene un pasajero en su corazón, en su corazón.
I'm so hungry.
Hey, are you hungry?
Yes, I am.
Great, then this is for you for only $49.
Really? Thank you, Krusty.
Mwahahahahaha. Consumerism in burgers is in my blood.
I'll do whatever you want, but please don't hurt me.
I'm not gonna hurt you. Let me ask you a question. Do you know what consumerism is?
No.
Well, it's the theory that an increase in consumption of goods. For example, give me that.
But I paid for that.
Let me continue explaining. It's a preoccupation with and an inclination toward the buying of consumer goods. The contemporary marketplace is shaped solely by the craven needs of global consumerism.
Oh, I get it now.
Is it clear?
Yes, I have to consume with responsibility.
Great. Let's hug. Ha 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 ha.
We are all the teenagers. Oh my god, look. Come on. Oh my god, teenagers, finally. How old are you?
I'm 17 years old.
16 years old.
17. I'm 17. Oh my god, between 16 and 17 years old. It's perfect. Okay. People, I have to make a little question for you. Can I do it?
Yes.
Okay. Well, hypothetically speaking, if I gave you $1,000 right now, what would be the thing that you would do with that money?
A deportive car?
Deportive car?
Yes.
With $1,000?
Of course, I have my own methods.
Okay. What about you?
I will buy a lot of mangas and figurines of Evangelion without any clothes.
Edit that out, please. Edit that out. What about you?
A cow.
The one that goes moo.
Moo. Yeah, milk free milk.
Oh, that's a good idea. What about you?
Rocks.
Rocks?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, I'm not judging.
I want mangas too.
No, you just said your answer. Do you think this answer that you gave me is correct? Like,
Yes.
Of course. Are you playing with my feelings?
do you know what is consumerism?
Is when you eat food?
No, I don't know. No. Let me explain to you what is consumerism. Is it clear?
Yes.
Oh my god. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your participation. Thank you very much. I love you guys. I'm your fan. Oh my god, teenagers!
The hypothesis established that teenagers are the most susceptible to make purchases in big amounts, according to the results from the surveys made to 25 teenagers and 25 adults. 56% agreed on teenagers being the most responsible for making consumption bigger than it already is. On the other side, the 44% left voted for adults and bigger consumer. The type of design for this case of studies is non-experimental. Between teenagers and adults as the focus groups for the comparison of how often are involved in consumerism. Journals and registers of the collected data from the previous interviews are useful for not missing any information to consider and keep in mind. The methodology used were surveys and interviews applied to adults and teenagers from the Universidad Tec Milenio Campus Guadalupe, from different age ranges as a way to find out how their consumerism impacts the environment. The use of non-experimental instruments, in particular non-probabilistic teen and adult samples in qualitative and quantitative research methods, is precisely a transactional research method. Even if a comparison of consumerism between adolescents and adults were made, the difference would not be so high because most adults also have a high percentage of consumerism. There were even some who affirmed that it was good for the sake of the planet.
Number 1. Responsibility of teenagers when shopping. Well, when people, but most of teenagers, go shopping, don't consider very much the amount of money or the consequences of consuming those services. As a teenager, they have to practice and get experience. They will get better at making good decisions and will feel more independent and empowered. Teens can face many challenges at school, for example, that require them to make choices, such as the transition to high school and the selecting subjects, the bullying, friendships, and exam stress, but they have to consider about what they are consuming and what are the consequences of getting those benefits for their own.
Number 2. Is consumerism capable of being controlled? We may be seeking to live in a minimalist life, but we are still consumers. Indeed, to live is to consume. It is in the very nature of living. But there is a huge difference in excessive consumerism and what we actually need.
Number 3.
Another thing that we can find in this research would be how the impact of social media gets into teenagers' minds, decisions, and thinking.
How online trading affects statistics. In the pandemic, changes in consumption habits contributed to the increase of online sales. The impact was such that the electronic commerce grew 81 nationwide compared to the 2019, according to the 2021 online sales study of the Mexican Association of Online Sales.
They say, based on the results of research, we can make a lot of things, such as like investigations about why people spend a lot of money and what about it, and how it is related to the capitalism. So I think it would be great to investigate more about that, because if we search about why people buy a lot of things and why the consumers make all of these things happen, so we can expect results more effective.
Many of the things that people consume have plastic, even though they do not need it. Plastic only make the emission of greenhouse gases worse and harm the planet when extracting resources with which they will be produced. With our discoveries, we can know for sure that most of us consume products that we don't really need and we buy them because of fashion, whim, or the desire to have something. With this, we can say that one of the best ways to help the environment is to find ways to satisfy our needs without having to consume. Another way that works is to maintain and take care of the objects or clothes that we buy and make them last longer. Also, it works to repair the ones that are slightly damaged. Our discoveries can be applied by becoming aware of the great manipulation of online commerce. People will begin to reason more about what they buy. Do I really need it? Reducing the amount of purchases and consequently the amount of trash that are made.
Now, another thing that this will create will be policies, and these policies will become into regulations. These regulations will prevent companies from overloading their machines and stop producing more than the amount of products they sell. So this way they sell everything they have produced in a very short period of time or a very long period of time. That way they make sure that all the products have been sold and they don't produce any more products that will be thrown away or burned or just saved in stock.
Well, how will you feel
research change of people's minds, it will be like having all this gathered information and just like sharing. It will make people change their minds about consumers and how bad it is. With all the fact that we have a lot of information about it, so people will learn it and people will think about how does it affect. So as I said, with this research, people will change their minds and they will think that what they're doing is wrong. They need to change that habit. So was a conclusion that that's what will happen.
Mental health. Consumerism results can be helpful to develop solutions for mental health. Because at the time of buying stuff to meet our needs, of course, plays an important role on people's lives. But well-being studies illustrate that materialistic tendencies are linked to decreased life satisfaction, happiness, vitality, and social cooperation, and increases in depression, anxiety, racism, and antisocial behavior.
If people continue to consume for pleasure and whim, the planet will suffer damage that will be irreparable in a short time. For the same reason, everyone needs to make a change in their lives about the things they consume to create an impact on the future.
As I said in the previous point, the results of the research can have an impact in the future. Whether society changes the type of thinking it has or the amount of expenses it reduces, improving the quality of the environment by not producing so much garbage.
The healthiness of the world, the planet itself, will change drastically, and the citizens' health will do so. It will do the same because the atmosphere is already being treated. By, let's say, 10 years, it will be treated even more, and it will lower down the amount of pollution that companies are creating right now. Diseases, respiratory diseases specifically, will be lowering down in the percentage that humanity hasn't seen these last 5 or 10 years. Because we all know that from the 2000s and forward to those years, as of right now, pollution, respiratory pollution, has been increasing constantly. And by treating the atmosphere and lowering down the amount of products companies are producing, or changing products that they use in order to make, for example, cell phones, clothes, or food, fast food. If we change those products to the ones that do not affect the environment at all, or they just lower down, humans' health and the planet's health, environmentally speaking, will change drastically. We will see a before and after very different in a very short period of time.
I'm going to talk about how does the information make an impact on the culture, like the future, we have gathered all this information about the consumers and how it's affected teenagers, everything about it. So we can think about it. How does it will make it back?
Apenas van 20 segundos.
So we know what is culture, right? Yeah. We need to explain it again. And so with all this information about it on internet, people we know about it, and we know about all these effects that the consumer has and what is that. So this will make impact on the culture. Just having exchanging information about consumerism, all this information that we have. But generation to generation will have about why we stop consumerism and why we need to stop it. So that's how we make it better.
5 segundos.
It will be possible and we will do in the future.
Hi, it's me, Alexa. Yes, it will change society by making consumers more conscious about consumerism's impact in society. It will change their perspectives when acquiring services for their own benefit. Even if we don't want to be affected by the society where we live, it is very important to take them into consideration for the future generations.
Teenagers are one of the main distractions to our project on consumerism, since they are very involved in internet trends and fashion. Also, they want to be updated all the time, and most of the time, they are influenced to buy certain types of clothes or food by the sponsors of famous people on social media.
E-commerce companies are probably against our research, as it will affect them in terms of sales, investing more and better strategies to prevent them from losing buyers. The detractors would be how commercialized and how the capitalism involves into companies and pollution these days, because it's more important to be wealthier and money rather to have an environment that is healthy itself. That is what is stopping companies from making this change and to stop using or overusing world's resources.
¡Qué miedo! No han pasado 30 segundos. ¿Nombre? ¿Cómo que no? Ya, mucho. Explain to you what is consumerism. Hola. Okay.
Saturday night, I feel the air is getting hot. Like it, baby. I'll drive you crazy. Saturday night dancing like the way you move.
No consume. Don't consume like those people are consuming the dance. They are dancing very weird. Oh my god, here comes another